Peace be upon you, my friend. I am Sheikh Yusuf, the Life Strategist, and today I want to talk directly to the men. I want to talk to the man who is currently exhausted. You are working 18 hours a day. You are reading every book on marketing. You are grinding, pushing, and striving in the marketplace with everything you have. You have the strategy, you have the product, you have the drive, but your bank account is stuck in a state of stagnation. It feels like there is an invisible glass ceiling over your head that you cannot break through. You make a little progress, and then an unexpected expense hits you from a direction you never saw coming. You close a major deal, and then the client backs out for no logical reason. It feels like you are running on a treadmill, lots of sweat, lots of effort, but no forward distance. Let me tell you exactly where that glass ceiling is coming from, and it is not what you want to hear. It is not the economy, it is not the government, and it is not your competitors. It is the state of your marriage. I know this triggers your ego. I can hear you saying, Sheikh Yusuf, please keep my business separate from my home life. My business is numbers and strategy, while my home is feelings and emotion. But the ancient teachings tell us that there is no separation. There is a specific spiritual and biological mechanic, a law of consequence as real as gravity that dictates that a man's financial flow is entirely dependent on the emotional state of his wife. If she is in pain, your money is dying. If she is honored as the queen of your sanctuary, your wealth is unlimited. This is not marriage counseling. I am not here to talk about your feelings. I am a strategist, and today I'm going to teach you the protocol of the sanctuary. This is the secret that the wealthiest merchants of the East have used for centuries to build empires that last for 10 generations. If you are ready to stop the frantic hustle and start the flow of sustained provision, you need to listen to this until the very last second. In the ancient wisdom of the early teachers, we find a formula that is more powerful than any stock tip or investment strategy. Honor your wife so that you may become wealthy. They did not say, honor her so you will have a peaceful dinner. They used a specific word for wealth. Why? What is the connection between the way you speak to her and the digits in your bank account? To understand this, we must stop thinking like modern fragmented people and start thinking like spiritual architects. We must look at the architecture of the vessel. The universe operates on a system of transmission and manifestation. The masculine energy is the transmitter. It is the potential, the seed, the idea, and the hustle. But the feminine energy is the manifestation. She is the vessel, the soil that takes the seed and turns it into a tree. She is the container that catches the light and turns it into solid reality. Listen closely. You can pull down all the light in the world, you can have the most brilliant business ideas, and you can have the highest energy, but if you do not have a vessel to catch it, the provision spills on the floor and evaporates. In the spiritual structure of your life, your wife is the vessel. She is the sanctuary of the harvest. If that vessel is cracked, if she is hurt, disrespected, ignored, or made to feel lonely, the provision leaks out. You are trying to pour high voltage electricity into a broken wire. This explains the phenomenon of the unlucky genius, the man who is smart and works harder than everyone else but is always in a financial crisis. He has high transmission but a broken vessel. On the flip side, we see men who seem average. They aren't the smartest or the hardest workers, but everything they touch turns to gold. Why? Because they have a pristine vessel at home. They have a wife who feels like a queen. And because she feels honored, she creates a magnetic spiritual container that catches every drop of provision that comes their way. The ancient wise men used to say that a man without a wife is not a man at all. He is just a wanderer with potential but no reality. There is a story of a couple who, after 10 years, decided to separate. The man eventually married a woman of chaotic and selfish character, and despite his previous success, he slowly became wicked and poor. His energy was dragged down. The woman married a man who was once known for his failure and lack of character. But because she was a woman of substance and discipline, she transformed him. He became a leader and a man of great wealth. The lesson is simple. Everything follows the woman. She is the architect of the reality you live in. If you think you are a self-made man, you are delusional, you are the engine, but she is the transmission. You can rev the engine to 7,000 revolutions. But if the transmission is broken, the car stays in the driveway. Think of the greatest leaders in history. Behind their public strength was a hidden foundation of feminine peace. We must treat the wife not as a cost center, but as the primary high-yield asset. To honor, means to treat something as if it is extremely fragile and extremely valuable. The word itself implies weight and prestige. In your business, how do you treat your most valuable asset? If you owned a priceless stallion, you would protect its environment, you would ensure its health, and you would never let it be mistreated. Your wife is the router of your provision. If the router is down, the signal is dead. Honoring her means you prioritize her emotional stability above your business anxiety. When you walk through the door of your home, you are no longer the CEO. You are the servant of the sanctuary. If she feels safe, the vessel is open. If she feels cherished, the vessel becomes magnetic. When a woman feels deeply loved and respected, she radiates a biological and spiritual shield around her husband that protects him from bad business deals, from the envy of competitors, and from his own ego. I know men of immense wealth who will not sign a contract until their wife has met the other party. They know that a woman has an extra intuition, a gift from the source to protect the home. She can sense a predator long before the man sees the red flags. The man sees the prophet, but the woman sees the character. If you ignore her intuition, you are turning off your own security system. How many times have you lost money because you didn't listen to that feeling your wife had? That feeling was the frequency of the sanctuary trying to save the provision. Now we must discuss the danger of the tears. This is the most critical warning I can give you. If you are causing your wife to cry out of emotional pain or neglect, you are bankrupting yourself in the unseen world. The ancient teachings warn that a man must be very careful about the pain of his wife, for her tears are a direct line to the source. When a woman is mistreated by the one who is supposed to be her provider and protector, her cry bypasses all the administrative levels of the universe and goes straight to the Creator. And when the source hears that his daughter is being harmed, he restricts the flow to the manager. You are the manager. If you abuse the staff of the sanctuary, the investor pulls the capital. I have seen it happen 1,000 times. A man neglects his wife or treats her with coldness, and suddenly his sure thing business deal collapses. He blames the market. But the market didn't change. His spiritual credit rating in heaven was slashed. Peace in the home is not just the absence of fighting, it is a container for multiplication. The early teachers said that the infinite found no vessel that could hold blessing other than peace. Imagine a barrel held together by strong iron bands, that is peace. If the bands are strong, it can hold thousands of gold coins. If the bands are broken by conflict, the wood separates and the coins fall into the mud. Strife in the home creates cracks in the barrel. You earn money, but your car breaks. You earn money, but you get a lawsuit. You earn money, but it disappears into emergencies. That is the curse of the cracked vessel. When you invest in the peace of your home, you are tightening the bands of your barrel. You are ensuring that every dollar you make stays with you and multiplies. Modern culture tells you that a high-maintenance wife is a burden, but the life strategist knows that a wife who is honored and provided for is a high-vibrational generator. The wise men say, you should spend less than you have on food and exactly what you have on yourself, but you should spend more than you think you can afford on the honor of your wife. This sounds like bad financial advice to the amateur, but it is a supernatural investment. When you stretch yourself to honor her, to relieve her stress, and to make her feel like royalty, you are signaling to the provider, I value the vessel. And the provider responds, since you value the vessel, I will give you more provision to fill it. It is a direct correlation. You stretch for her, and the infinite stretches for you. If you are stingy with your wife, the universe will be stingy with your income. I know the objection. The man who says, Sheikh Yusuf, you don't know my wife, she is difficult. She nags and she doesn't respect me. I hear you and I speak to you man to man. A wife is a mirror. The ancient teachings tell us that a wife reflects the face and the heart of her husband. If you give her criticism, she reflects defensiveness. If you give her neglect, she reflects resentment. If you give her honor, she eventually reflects glory. If you do not like the reflection in the mirror, you do not break the mirror, you change your face. You are the leader, that is what being the head means. It doesn't mean you are the boss, it means you are the source of the energy. If the river is polluted, check the source. If you change the energy you bring to her consistently, she will change. It is a law of nature. It may take 30 days or 6 months, but you are a strategist playing the long game. You are building a dynasty, not looking for a quick fix. You can repair a cracked vessel with the gold of discipline, and it becomes stronger than it was before. Here is the protocol of the sanctuary. A 5-step system to restart your financial flow by reordering your home. Step 1, the sincere audit. This requires you to lower your ego. Go to your wife today, sit down, look her in the eyes and say, I apologize. I have been chasing money and ignoring the source of my provision. I have made you feel second place to my stress. I am going to change. Do not make excuses, just open the gate. When the husband lowers his ego, the wife's heart opens and the blockage in the spiritual pipe is removed. Step 2, the threshold transition. This is a tactical habit. Most men walk into their house carrying the war energy of the marketplace. They are stressed, aggressive, and looking at their phones. You are polluting the sanctuary. Before you touch the doorknob, take a deep breath. Leave the marketplace outside. Put your phone away for 20 minutes. Walk in as a husband, not a businessman. For the first 5 minutes, do nothing but connect with her. Touch her. Look at her. Ask about her world. If you win the first 5 minutes, you win the evening. If you win the evening, you win the peace. If you win the peace, you win the wealth. Step 3, the golden compliment. Your words are creative power. Every day, praise her for something specific, not just you look nice, but I appreciate how you manage this home. You make it a place of power. Praise is the fuel that charges her internal generator. A happy wife is a powerful protector. An insecure wife is a drain on your focus. Step 4, financial transparency. Many men hide money or losses from their wives thinking they are maintaining control. This is a fatal mistake that creates a shadow in the vessel. Shadows breed fear, and fear breeds conflict. Bring her into the light of your goals and your struggles. When she says, I believe in us, that is a spiritual stamp of approval that carries massive weight in the unseen realm. If she feels secure, the money will flow. Step 5, the weekly reset. You must have one night a week where you do nothing but honor her and the sanctuary. In the ancient tradition, we call this the night of rest. You sit at the table, you celebrate her value, and you declare her a woman of substance. This resets the week and prevents resentment from building up. Start this ritual tonight. To expand on this for the man seeking total dominance, let us speak of the intuition shield. A woman's heart is a radar system. When you are in a high-stakes negotiation, you are often blinded by your own greed or ambition. But if your wife is attuned to you, she will feel the character of the people you are dealing with. I have seen men saved from ruin because their wife said, I don't trust that man's eyes, and the man was wise enough to listen. If you treat her like a subordinate, she will stop sharing her intuition with you. If you treat her like a queen, she will become your most powerful advisor. You are the king, but she is the kingdom. No king has power without a stable kingdom. Think about the ROI, the return on investment. You spend $100 on flowers or $1,000 on a vacation to give her rest. The universe sees that you are investing in the vessel and responds by doubling the light. This is the merchant's secret. It is much cheaper to have a happy wife than to have a failing business. 1 hour of sincere connection with her is worth 10 hours of grinding in a state of internal conflict. Conflict at home is the biological tax that makes you slow and stupid in the marketplace. When your home is a sanctuary of peace, you enter the world with a quiet mind. A quiet mind sees the deals that the frantic mind misses. You will achieve in 4 hours what your competitors achieve in 12, because they are fighting their wives while you are being fueled by yours. This is the definition of a life strategist. You are not just working, you are engineering an environment that makes success inevitable. I want to talk to the man who thinks he is too alpha for this. You think being a man means being dominant and stoic at home. True strength is not dominance. It is the ability to provide emotional security. If you are failing to protect your wife's heart, you are a failed protector. If you are failing to provide peace, you are a failed provider. Real strength is the discipline to control your own ego for the sake of your family's destiny. It takes a weak man to scream. It takes a powerful man to listen and lead with honor. Your wife is the mirror of your leadership. If you don't like what you see, lead better. I have sat in the tents of the wealthiest caravan leaders, and I noticed that their wives were always the most honored. They were draped in the finest silks and treated with the highest respect. These men weren't being soft. They were being strategic. They knew that their life depended on the prayer and the peace of the woman holding the home. Do not be the man who builds a skyscraper on a foundation of sand and then wonders why it collapses during the first storm. Build your foundation on the honor of your wife. Treat her like the sanctuary she is. This is the #1 secret that has kept the elite at the top for thousands of years. It is a law of the infinite. Stop looking for a new hack and start looking at the woman sitting across from you at the dinner table. She is the key to your next million. I want you to go into the comments right now and write these words: I protect the sanctuary. By writing that, you are committing to this realignment. You are telling the universe that you are ready to stop being a transmitter with no vessel and start being a man of ordered abundance. Subscribe to this channel, because next week I am going to teach you the law of the hidden vault, how to manage your private information to ensure no one can sabotage your growth. Do not let the modern world tell you that your marriage is a lifestyle choice. It is a financial and biological architecture. Rebuild the architect, and you will rebuild the empire. I have seen men who are on the brink of divorce and bankruptcy turn their entire lives around in 90 days by simply implementing this protocol. Their income didn't just grow, it multiplied. Their health returned. Their joy returned. This is the power of the life strategist. You are no longer a victim of the marketplace. You are the master of your environment. The provision is ready. Make sure your vessel is whole. Your soul is the blueprint, and your life is the construction. Peace be upon you, my friend. Go home, put your phone away, and look at your wife with the eyes of a man who has just discovered his greatest treasure. Lead with honor, and watch the doors of sustained provision swing wide open. Sheikh Yusuf signing off. Do not forget, the silence of a peaceful home is the loudest statement of a successful man. If you want the world to respect you, start by respecting the one who knows you best. The light is waiting to fill the cup. Make sure the cup is ready. Peace.